Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Black Forest coming in with another market analysis video. This morning, we're going to be looking at NZD USD, also known as the Kiwi. But before we get to start to break down this forex pair, we have to state that this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice, okay? But we all know why you guys are here, which is to find good, credible forex content to help improve your ability as a trader and to help put a little bit extra money in your pocket, especially in these very troubling times when inflation being so high. Okay. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and break down this forex pair and see what we can do to help with that. Okay. All right. So before we get to breaking down what is the technical analysis, what's physically happened on the chart, let us start to discuss what is fundamentally going on with the USD and the NZD. We're going to talk about the Kiwi first. Okay. Now, the NZD is has been one of our stronger currencies for the most part for several trading weeks. However, we did get some poor economic news at the beginning part of this week for the NZD, and then we also got some poor economic news at the close of the New York session for the NZD as well. Okay. So we're gonna have to wait and see how that poor economic news is going to reflect on the NZD, or is this overall strength that it's been having for the last several weeks are going to carry it along, or will this economic news cause either aggressive retracement or price turnover? More so leaning toward the side of aggressive retracement than price turnover. Okay. Now, as we said previously with the USD, that the USD has a couple factors going on with it. The USD is still suffering from inflation. There's a dark cloud of inflation hanging over it. We did get some poor economic news at the latter part of the trading week last week. But the Feds did raise the interest rate from 25 to 50%, and the Feds, there were news reports that came out yesterday that said that the Feds are going to start putting more economic policies in place to combat inflation. Okay, so we're going to have to see how these policies and what economic measures start to play out with that. So the deciding factor for the USD is going to be this: how fast and how effectively is it combating inflation? If it's combat inflation effectively and expeditiously, then we will start to see a pickup in the strength in the USD. If it's not combating the inflation effectively or at a fast enough pace, then we will start to see FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, start to surround the USD, and it would actually maintain its current weakness or start to become much, much weaker. Okay? Now let's break this down from a technical analysis standpoint now. So as you can see, for the most part, we've been going up and an uptrend when we had a very deep dive here, came out, and now we are had some range coming, and we did look like we kind of broke this range. But even though this is looking like a buy, I will caution buying right in this area and wait for some type of pullback because we do not know how aggressive the pullback is going to be. We could pull back as far as here, take off, pull back as far as here, and take off. But with the NZD having some weak economic news comes out, that usually causes currencies when you have weak, even though it's going in a long position, but it does have weak economic news come out. It does cause currency to start to pull back much aggressively. So we could pull back even past this market structure here, as low as here, or as low as here before we start to continue to go up in this long direction. Okay. You don't want to be stuck placing buys here because if it decides to start pulling back, then you're going to have to wait till it come back to this area before it can even start to move up and take profit for you. So if you was to buy here and it started to pull back here, 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 it's going to hit your stop loss, or you're going to be waiting a long time before you start to go into profit. And in time, anything can happen with fundamentals. Okay. So We did have some aggressive movement towards the upside last night, but we're going to probably start to have some retracement. We can go as far as here, range out and go up. We can go as far as this market structure here, range out and go up. Now, if the retracement does pick up and become aggressive, we can go far as here or even here before we range out and start to go up towards the long side. Now, it does still look like it's going to go for a long position, okay? But we have to take in the fact we have to take into consideration the retracement that is eventually going to come in, because you do not want to be stuck in buys. I'm telling you this from experience. You do not want to be stuck in buys in a situation where it's at a high that it has not been at in some time. And the next you know, aggressive retracement starts to come in. You're either going to two things are going to happen. It's going to hit your stop loss, or your retracement is going to take you damn near to the Delta Quadrant for all you Star Trek fans. Or what's going to happen is that it could possibly blow your account if you're holding this trade, hoping, thinking it's going to go back up. And by the time it does decide to go back up, you've probably done lost a lot of money or been in heavy retracement. Okay, so trust me, as a person who has lost a lot of money to get this type of experience, to be able to become a good trader in his own right, don't buy here. Wait for the pullback, then judge the pullback too. You don't want to just, okay, pull back, I'm going to buy. Wait for the pullback to finish all the way, then start to go in for the trade. Now, like I said, for the long term, it does look like we're going to be in an up position, but I promise you, at some time, we're going to have some type of pullback. Now, it could be aggressive, like I stated, due to how poor the NZD news is, because technically NZD is also classified as weak. It is just not as weak as the USD due to its inherited strength of positive news and positive economics that just had over the previous trading weeks. But with that poor news come out, we could have an aggressive pullback. So wait for the pullback before you get back into the trade. It allows you to actually make more money trading in that manner. Okay. Hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.